Shout out, shout outs. Hey, welcome to 94 Radio. With our special guest, Erin. This is Women in Sports, so I thought you were going to help me with that. That's Women in Sports with Erin Groll. Thank you so much for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. Please, you are online, there's people here. Throw your comments, throw your emojis, do all those things that'll help us keep engaged. But before, I wrote, aka curated this intro for you, and I think this is something I want to.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Let's go.
Picture this. You're at the finish line of a Diamond League meet. The world's fastest athletes are blurring past. The crowd is roaring and the air is crackling with pure energy. And right there in the thick of it, with a camera in her hand and determined smile, is our guest today. She is Erin Groll, a force who is changing how we see track and field. If you follow the iconic Diamond League, you've seen her stunning work. She's the artist behind a lot of the work, capturing the breathtaking raw moments and agony and ecstasy that define elite sports. But here's what makes her truly special. While she's busy shooting superstars, she's also a superstar builder. She's the co-founder, shout out, of Community Track, an incredible initiative back here in Cape Town. That's literally reviving public track and turning them into vibrant hubs for running of all levels. She's not just documenting the sport from the top, she's actively planting the seeds for its future from the ground up. So, she has the best of both worlds. She gets glamour of the global circuit and grass stains of the community hustle. We are thrilled to have her here to talk about everything from freezing a world record moment in time to building running communities one lap at a time.
Wow.
Please welcome Erin Groll. Hey!
Jeez, man, that's a hell of an intro.
Oh, yes, and I forgot.
I don't know how to come back.
No, you're good. I forgot.
Thank you.
Yeah, how are you doing, Erin?
I'm good. How are you? How was last night?
I'm so whoo. It was a movie. It was a good time.
Good scenes, man. Start to finish.
I saw some. If you look online, you'll see some of the pictures Erin took.
I only come out of hibernation for Groll photography, but for the 9-4, that is the only people I will do it for.
Let's go, dude. And they fire. I see it. I see it.
We all started, yeah.
I wanted to say something before we go. You actually could be the person I've known the longest in the 9-4.
We have a history, guys.
We have a back history that I think a lot of people don't know.
Mm.
I'll tell you what I remember of this history. Erin, if you don't know, I gave you the whole intro. Erin used to be a comedy promoter, comedy community builder back in Durban. And she's the one who actually gave me my first I think I've only done Durban gigs with you.
Yeah.
And
we were the only company in Durban back then.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Been through us.
Yeah, you held it down. And then I remember we went to a festival that you had a stage at. So I've known her through the comedy thing. So it's great now that we're both in the 9-4 on this couch.
Together.
On 9-4 radio. Okay, so first and foremost, I want to ask you, if you had to describe what you do, what would you do? How would you describe what you do to a 5-year-old, a 3-year-old? What do you do?
So this is the complicated side because I actually have a 4-year-old. So we're now in the middle of the two worlds.
My bad, Evie. My bad, dog.
It's okay. We'll hold down Evie. So basically, my job is that I am primarily a sports photographer. I have been for a long time. So I photograph live action sports. I've been doing this for a while. Before I had any, I'm going to say, like, success in the scene, I brought my camera to every single running event that I could possibly be at, and I was always just a bit obsessed with photographing runners and movement of all kinds, And so now that is basically what I do. So I work with elite athletes, and I cover them in their races and their training camps, and basically I try and tell all parts of the story. So the build, the race, the after. I travel with a team that's based in Europe for half the year and in South Africa for another half of the year. And yeah, I spend a lot of time in the space with them, and it really helps because I'm like a massive running nerd. So like, I really like it. Like, I'm fascinated.
You inside.
I'm inside.
You inside. But then why would I? Because you now have like, jeez.
Yeah, there's a lot of streams, but if I had to really like sum it down to my 4-year-old,
your 4-year-old doesn't know what's going on right now.
No, she says I go to a running track, and sometimes she sees me on the TV, which is really special. Sometimes when they pan to like the camera people, and then my husband Nick will like pause it, so then she can see like, oh, there's mum, you know. So, and then I photograph people running around the track, and that's what she knows. She knows what an athletics track is. She knows, she's been to a couple of meets herself, you know, so she's in the, she has like a vague understanding, but.
No, she took some fire photos. I remember on the her.
Yeah.
On
We
the
gifted
her on the
her
promenade.
with her very first camera.
Yeah.
3 megapixels.
We might, in one of the edits, we might just show you that picture here.
It's a good one. I like it. But they're only like knee high. Because
That's as far as she could see. So yeah, if you want a face portrait, Evie's not your person, but,
no, but your
when
legs
she
are
grow,
gonna look so good.
Yeah, ankle work is crazy.
It goes hard.
But tell me then, you have this access to these like incredible athletes, man, and you know, being a runner yourself, as you said, you're this running nerd, and has there been, and I'm sure there's so many, and maybe they don't even remember it, but has there been a moment where they've shared something with you, whether it's athlete related or career related or anything, because these guys are honed in, right? They have a certain way of thinking. Is there anything they've actually explicitly shared, or you might have observed, or you're like, oh my fuck, you know, like a revelation, I don't know, anything. These are incredible people that you're around all the time.
Yeah, like I'm completely obsessed with the team that I work with, which I think helps. I think if you're working in such close quarters with them all the time, or with a group of people, like, you know, I've seen them more than I've seen a lot of other people in my life this year. So like naturally the bonds form, and I think I'm a naturally empathetic person, and I deeply care about them all and their experiences. So like I've been through the highs of the elite sport, you know, and high performance with them, and I've also been through the lows. But then I've also watched them in the build to all of these things. And, you know, like, a high-performance sport doesn't follow a script either. You know, like, sometimes it's, you know, sometimes all the chips fall together and sometimes they don't. And, you know, it's like, it's dealing with all of that. But I would say one of the biggest takeaways from this year that I've had with being with them is that there's such power in consistency and routine. And these guys follow such set routine, and they're so consistent with everything they do in their training and their life, and it just pays off, you know. I think it's such like a powerful tool to just nail the basics, and that was like, you know, and the basics are like, you know, sleeping, eating, following the plan, you know, doing what you can. Obviously, it's not always the same for like all of us, because
I only sleep in December.
Exactly, right? No, our lives are not like, you know, as open to live that lifestyle, but I think just if you can hone in a little bit more on like the basics of life, it just seems to make the biggest difference. And and the support, I guess, like there's such like a incredible layer of support between everyone in that team, and you know, all the staff, all the athletes, all the friends, like, you know, everyone is so deeply involved and like connected, and I think that's like something that us as the 9-4 members have, you know, which is really special. Like we're a small group, but we are so deeply connected, and everyone knows like about what's going on for one another, and it's like this stuff makes a difference. And I think because it's really good when everything is going well, but when things are also not going well, to also still have that level of support amongst another.
Shout out marathon training.
Exactly, right? Like marathon training's super hard. And like if you can do it amongst a group of people who understand you, it just makes it so much better.
And when you say this consistency, I mean, you do like on the track,
Yep.
as you said, you behind the scenes. What would be, and you don't have to mention who it is, but what would be the weirdest kind of pre-race ritual that you've observed as a fly on the wall, going with these people?
I mean, I like because now I've been involved in like. A lot of
Are you gonna
these-
try and give us a diplomatic one? Tell
No.
us. Tell us.
No, guys, I've seen some like crazy shit, yeah, but not necessarily with the team I work with, but just because I've now, you know, when you watch the live stream of a broadcast, they don't always show you what's happening for like the few minutes before these guys get on and girls get on the track.
Yeah.
You know, so I've seen like a lot of. I didn't know that people hit their faces so hard. So they like, you know, and it's not, I'm not talking about the group that I work with, but just like in general, like,
Not the
you know,
people she
walk-
works with, to be clear.
I've watched people walk into, you know, the starting blocks or get ready to go, and just like very hard slaps on like their own faces.
Dude,
And
that's
I was
fire.
Like, wow, okay, the talk about
I do.
like,
I've done that before, but mine is like sober up, Les.
Yeah, right, exactly.
So-
Or like in a different circumstance. So I remember a couple of years ago when I was like I think I was going through like a very anxious patch, and someone told me that I needed to put an elastic band on my wrist, and every time I was freaking out about something, to pull the wrist, so it would go kappa, you know, and so I would literally have to snap out of it. But like, you know, it's quite an intense way to get in the zone, and yeah, so like big face slapping happening.
Fire. I wanted to ask. I mean, now you have to. Do you do your own touching, retouching? I don't want to get too photography nerdy.
Yeah, for sure. I do. I process everything myself.
Sheesh.
Yeah, sheesh. One man band.
ErinGroll.com.
Global.
ErinGroll.co.gov. No. No. ErinGroll.com. See you, obviously on the socials. Obviously they'll be tagged here. What is the weirdest thing you've had to Photoshop out? Oh, there's something like, this image bangs, but why is there a camel toe behind?
No, I haven't seen any severe camel toes.
Okay.
I haven't seen any of that. No. Maybe you know, sometimes it's just like the corner of someone's head, or like just an appendage that's there, you know, which just like, so there hasn't been anything like, I mean, I would love to give you like a hilarious story.
No,
of
I'm
something
just.
crazy, but like every now and again there's just like something that you're like, okay, like.
No, that's because
So it's just
you're.
like a bit of like a hand or a leg or.
No, because that's
but like
your eye.
a
That's your eye
knee.
is fire. That's why you don't have to Photoshop much.
Yeah, but sometimes you also must like learn the power of the crop, you know. This is a very, very big tool in this life.
No, we all know. Even on Instagram.
Yeah,
That
we like a
one
good
where
crop.
you're taking a photo and you're like, one of the members has to die here because it doesn't fit.
Which one
Who
is
must
this one?
die on the edge of this photo? But now you've like you said, taken a camera everywhere from way back.
Yeah.
Just like natural track and field, kind of enthusiasm for it. And now that you are with this team, and obviously there's like, you know, I think I think we'll mention the brand once, so
Yeah.
we'll give it some contents. But
Yeah.
otherwise, Puma all the way, baby. But you know, touring with the On, and I guess the idea here is you're getting paid, and you've got these commercial kind of obligations. And is there like a wrangling between being the artist and being like, this is a photo that I know they'll buy or they'll accept or they'll know that they're, or do you kind of just do your thing? I mean, I'd love to know your.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I guess there's like a bit of a creative process that has to be followed. Like, you know, when I go into a meet, I have a select amount of athletes that I have to cover that are like my clients, you know, that are part of.
KPIs for those with the Lenovo people. KPI now.
Yeah, but like, I mean, I work, you know, and sometimes there's a few of them in the same race, so it's a bit tricky. But basically, like, I will have a chat with the people that I work with beforehand, and we'll discuss who's racing what. and then we'll take it from there, basically. So I look out for them. I position myself. It's depending on the meet, the scale of the access that you would have. I did my first Diamond League earlier this year in Rome, so that's where I started. Yeah. So that was that was my massive goal for the year. Was that I really wanted to get into Diamond League, and I'd spent so many years watching Diamond League and being this massive Diamond League fan and track and field fan, and I really just wanted to see for myself, because I keep on following all these photographers who I know are working there and doing it, and and I kept thinking to myself, I can also do it. I really just want to give it a go and just see if I go, because in my mind I thought that I do love this, but I needed to really be there on the ground to discover if it was really the same feeling that I thought I had. So I had to test it out. So I applied to a whole lot of them, and then I got into one out of the 6 I think that I applied to, and I was like, oh fuck, okay, well I'll do the one. Whatever, I'm grateful for the opportunity. I will take a bit of a risk, and I'll give it a crack. So I did the one, and then all of a sudden I managed to, it's a lot about also meeting the right people and putting yourself in the right position, and I'm such a good chatter. Network.
I
like to chat, and I had to do some good chatting, and and meet people and engage, and I had to back myself from my core, which is terrifying, especially when you're surrounded by I'm gonna say predominantly a bunch of dudes who've been doing this for a long time, and I'm rolling in from the bottom of Africa, and I'm hello.
Yeah.
Please bring me in. But so that's the basis of it. But I started there, and we gave it a test. I pitched it, and I was maybe it would be a cool thing to do if we follow these athletes, and we cover them the way we want to cover it, and also because I have these relationships with this group of people now, and so I truthfully thought that if they saw me on the finish line, the photo that we could get might be a little bit different to what is out there already, and it worked, and that's all I can say. We started, there were some incredible results throughout that first 2-week block of Diamond Leagues that I went to.
Yeah.
And then it just got better and better, basically, and we started seeing oh my gosh, this is it's really working for everyone. But basically, as soon as the athletes that I needed to cover were done and I'd handed over the images, I would take whatever time I could to just try and explore and grow and try something and photograph something I never get to photograph, pole vault, or I don't know, just take a risk, and try and grow creatively, because it's rare. We don't have it in South Africa on this scale, and when you're out there, I was I need to make every single second of this experience count, because I'm taking so many risks.
While you're there.
Yeah.
I don't know. Shot put, I don't know about that one.
I mean...
I think save your battery for shot put.
But now, Laz, when you were in school, run it back. Okay, so Laz is in high school.
Yeah.
Now you must do athletics. What did they make you do?
You know what? Shot put was one of them. Maybe that's why I've got some PTSD.
Scarring. Okay.
Shot put, we didn't really have. I don't know if you know what school I went to. I went to Waldorf. We didn't do much sporting vibes.
Okay, cool.
So
you did do your with me though.
Yeah, I did do it, but let's not. They don't. Open something else. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Well, I want to go back. To
sorry.
something
Yes.
That you mentioned, because we are talking about a woman in sport.
Women in sport.
And there was something you said there, and I wanted just to go into it, was getting into what's essentially a male-dominated space.
Yeah.
Right, and that feeling, and I guess my question is, was there resistance initially, whether cognitively or not? And by cognitive, I mean on purpose or not on purpose for those out there. And some kind of, some challenges you felt geez, this is human-made challenges that are kind of stopping me from doing it. And if there was anything like that you experienced.
Look, I don't think it's only related to international meets. Unfortunately, that's a global issue. Because I have dealt with very similar issues in South Africa on the start line of major and finish line of major races, and I've also dealt with similar issues in Europe.
Yeah.
You know, and what was really special, I would say, about the last like 5 months, it's almost been that I've done this trip, is that I've made some incredible allies, you know, and I've met some incredible women in the space doing like unbelievable work, incredible talent.
Yeah.
And we are like bonded now, you know, and because again, I see them so much more than I would see anyone else, basically.
Yeah.
And yeah, there are a lot of challenges. Like, this is a predominantly male-dominated field, and like, I think as a woman, I've always felt like, you know, I am challenging a large status quo here, and I have to like fight for myself and fight for my position to be here, you know, and it's not easy.
Yeah.
And that's where it comes, you know, these feelings of like, you really have to back yourself and like believe in your work. And like, I think this year gave me that, because I didn't, maybe the years before, I was like, okay, you know, whatever, like I'm trying, but I'm always just like, you know, one of many, like in the space or whatever. But this time I was like, you know, I actually do belong to, like, I do belong here too.
Yeah.
And I feel like I can take up space, but it's tough. You know, it's very tough.
No, it's male dominated. Shout out, men, we're crushing it right now. But
Yeah.
no, I'm joking. I'm joking. No, but then I wanted to ask you then this, like, did you growing up, or at least when you were coming into this space, did you have, and we all know the importance of it and the help, but did you have a female mentor kind of going into the space?
No, I didn't. And I think that's why it's more important than ever to be visible in what you want to do. You know, whatever career path you want to be on, like if you are visible, then I feel like it sets a precedent for others, you know, and like maybe, who knows, maybe Evie, my 4-year-old, by her seeing me in the pit of photographers with like, you know, fighting for a shot, you know, maybe this will in some way impact her positively, even though, you know, it's tough because I'm also managing like motherhood with a small kid and traveling a lot, you know, so I'm really relying on a lot of people, and like I said, I've really had to like back myself severely this year to make it work, and like rely a lot on the support of my husband, my family, like, you know, and take a couple risks, but like now we see it, you know, now we see like it's possible. And I think, you know, like I shared some stuff a while ago, you know, and I showed online basically like some places that I'd been working over the course of the year. And the point of it is not to like brag or do it without context, but to show that like if you believe in yourself and you work hard enough and you really like are passionate about your craft and like what you do, like things can happen, and your dreams don't have to be defined by where you come from. You know, I always thought because I am, you know, a mom of a 4-year-old sitting in South Africa, like this world is not for me, you know, but it is. And you know, that's the thing. It's like, and that is like hard work, a very like a tough year, but it's been incredible, and like I'm so grateful, and like I truthfully have to pinch myself like constantly because, you know, things are happening now.
No, you've done incredible. I mean, geez, a crazy year. Campaigns that are all over, and I think the cherry on the top, I mean, you're on the couch at 9-4 Radio.
I'm so happy to be here.
You've peaked. You've peaked.
I'm so happy to be here with Naz 10 years later. Together again.
I did want to ask you this, though, right? Because you said you had this incredible support.
Yeah.
And I guess, and you spoke about allyship.
Yes.
And then I guess it would be like, for my dudes out there, Penis Gang, what up? I don't know what I did. But then what would be like, imagine if you had to write, and I guess I'm just conceptualizing, it doesn't have to be precise here, but if you had to kind of make an open letter to guys to help, or, you know, I don't know what I don't know, essentially, right? I mean, I'll give you a story. I went to a dinner the other day, maybe like 2 weeks ago, and I was talking to someone I didn't know. I met them at the dinner, and I was like, and then the issue of Cape Town Marathon came up, as it always does, because that's my personality until I'm done with it.
Smashing it.
Yeah, smash it. And then she was like, I'm not gonna run anymore. And like I'm just there, I'm thinking like she's going through a bad patch. I was like, no, dude, you must run. What are you talking about? Just keep going. And then after me trying to motivate her for like 10 minutes, she was like, yeah, I just found out I'm pregnant. And then I was like, oh shit, okay, you can't. And then she had to tell me, even though she hadn't told anyone else.
Okay.
And I remember in my head going, oh wow, that's something that I haven't even thought could be something that could stop you from running a marathon. So again, I don't know what you don't know what you don't know. And so I guess with that in mind, with this open letter, if there's anything, even if it's a simple bar, yo, let us in, bro. I don't know. But is there anything you would want to say to allyship or people who are willing to just to help or at least open up space or at least, I don't know, anything to help?
I think what's really special, I'm going to also make a little shout out to the 9-4 here.
9-4 radio, 9-4 radio. Sorry.
The 9-4 male contingent have been nothing but supportive, you know, and I think that we are very lucky to have that and to be surrounded by that as a run crew and to have this like collective male energy that cares deeply. And I really wish that could be transferred further, you know, and there are a lot of amazing people out there doing some really cool stuff, and like I just think just adding another layer of thought before action really like helps a lot, you know. And
you must think before you act.
And it's not an overcomplicated one, but it's just, you know, thinking one step first, then speaking, maybe.
No, 100%.
You know?
I'm watching myself on the mic now going forward. No, I hear you.
But we are lucky,
No,
man.
no.
I count myself super lucky. I always have since I've joined the 9-4. Like this, I'm so sad. This is like my first year in like 3 years that I'm not running Cape Town Marathon with everyone. I'm absolutely gutted to be missing it. You know,
gone too soon. Yeah.
One for the fallen homies. But I'm super happy to be here as part of like this build up and to be, you know, I've barely seen anyone for like the last 5 months. So to be here and to have followed the training online and seen this all like come together is super special. And I feel super lucky to be here. I think it's a very lucky time to be a runner in the city of Cape Town. Like this week has exploded. Like there's so much cool shit happening.
And right here at the Borough, I like to just give another
alive.
special shout out to the 9-4. Blah, 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 blah. So now I want to go to something that you're a co-founder of, which I think is a great thing from the 9-4. Why did you start Community Track, and how's that going?
So I started Community Track Club because I felt like there was something missing within the running offering within the Cape Town space. And I used to stare at this track in the middle of the city and be like, why is it so not like used by people? You know, what's going on here? Like, what are the barriers to entry? Like, is it, you know, people don't know how to access it? Do they feel like they cannot access it? Do they feel like, you know, I really, like I sat and I asked myself a bunch of questions. I also felt like maybe what we need here is like a bit of like track club culture. You know, I've seen it abroad and I loved it and it was super cool. And I just basically I took the opportunity. I had a friend visiting from Berlin who runs a track club that side, and I was like, dude, come and host a session here. Let's teach people how to do drills. Let's teach people how to do strides. Let's do a session. Like let's like do something fucking different, you know? And then let's put like 2 big JBL speakers and make it like a bit of a vibe, you know? And like let's try and engage together with that. And then I approached Mike Obery, who is like a long-time friend of mine, and
shout out Mike Obery. A friend of the 9-4s as well. Sorry.
He is a good friend of the 9-4. He's a good friend of Cape Town. All of us. We all want time with Mike, including me. But I went to him and I said, like, what do you think of, like, why don't we try and like see if this works, or like why don't we give it a bash, and like maybe this will be something cool. And yeah, we did our first one. We had like 170 people show up, and I was like, fuck, okay. Like, I don't come from like a running event organizing background, right? But I was like, cool, just give it a go and see what happens. And then super, super lucky to have received like amazing support from the running community at large. And I think, you know, each month we refined it. We brought in these elite athletes. Like, I basically DM'd everyone I could find who was visiting Cape Town.
I didn't get a DM.
I'm sorry. But everyone that was visiting that I could see, like, and I was like, do you want to come and do this? We're still figuring it out. But what we did then was, like, we figured out our formula and how do we run this thing, you know? And we worked on it and we workshopped it. And then we had an incredible opportunity last year. So we partnered, Community Track Club partnered with On, and we went to Europe for 3 months. Yeah.
Sheesh.
So we did Community Track Club that is born in the mother city, you know, and we took it out of Cape Town and we basically transplanted it in 3 European countries. And, you know, it was really well received. We also, again, learned how to run a really fucking tight ship because we had to, like, be very, you know, on it with everything.
And you did different...
Yeah, so we did basically, like, the event that we do in Cape Town with the elites. We then developed it further to go into Europe. So we did it in London, then we did it in Vienna, and then we did it in Paris. So that was great. Incredible opportunity. And yeah, so like Community Track Club is evolving. We're like really working with trying to evolve the concept from only just like a once a month track night with the athletes to a little bit, we're playing a bit with like racing, but short distance racing because it's fun and it's something we don't often get to do as like, you know, normal runners in the space. And I'm just, like I said earlier, like I'm such a fucking track and field nerd. So I was like, if we can do this and try and make people care a little bit more about like track and field, like then it's great. And like
take it to the streets, like Step Up style.
Yeah, I mean, we've had some really fun collabs. I will never forget. Yeah, exactly. Last year, we did a relay in the pouring rain with the 9-4 in Company Gardens. And we all came back here. And we watched Letsile Tebogo like absolutely fuck up the Olympics, like which was like unreal. So yeah, and like we've had fun, and I felt like, you know, track and field is a very cool sport, and like once you start understanding it and getting into it, like it's fascinating, you know, and it's easy to watch, you know. So yeah, super fun. So Community Track Club is going good. We are really like working again a little bit more to build these like race night programs where like there's not only the session but there's also like other cool things that are added to it, like a session plus with the elite plus racing plus bringing in like a bit of like a bit more of a vibe, so like some more food trucks, tattoos, vibes, I don't, you know, so evolving it. We have got a very exciting announcement which I can't really announce at the moment, but I shall announce it very soon.
I was ready to be like 9-4 radio exclusive.
Sorry. But watch this space because hopefully within the next week there will be something very exciting to announce for the end of the year. So hang tight for that. So yeah, we're working on it. We are growing.
I am sorry, I'm not ignoring, I'm not replying to a WhatsApp. I'm looking to make sure I did not miss a question because I took this very seriously.
I really appreciate that. How far we have come.
Yeah. No, honestly, there are some pictures. Again, we might edit and put some pictures of she took in the middle of a festival in Durban, and there's just imagine comedians, and then Erin with her.
I think I had a big softbox that I walked around with as well. Yeah.
But I remember we were in the like half. Robbie Collins was in the pool.
Robbie Collins in the pool.
Not in like a swimming costume, just in the pool.
In a pair of Vans.
In a pair of Vans. We had Mojak Lehoko.
Mojak was there as well.
Loiso Madinga, me, Simia Ref. Yeah, it was just like 5 of us.
Man.
It was a good time.
It was also like a bus. I remember that. Okay.
Yeah. So she picked us up from the airport. I mean, it was good times. I think for me, those are the ones that were okay. That's protocol observed. I wanted to ask you then, what is the, I think we've spoken about the challenges, and I think we've spoken about, and more specifically now, women in sport or sports media more specifically. I guess this is 2 things. What advice would you give right? And this is someone now let's not go all the way down to Evie. Let's go to someone who is in high school. They're like, fuck, someone's bothering me to go. They're saying I must do accounting, but fuck, I want to do this thing. What could you maybe tell her, and maybe someone who's also in another field and is like, fuck, I really want to take this plunge? And then secondly, I'm just going to ask you both questions at the same time. Like, what is the future? I know you have an announcement, but what is Erin Groll Q4 2025 and the rest of 2026 look like?
Gosh, my own background, I think in my high school years, I was like incredibly unsupported, and I had very little scaffolding around me. So I just was a bit of a loose cannon, if I'm honest with you. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I didn't know how I wanted to do it. I knew I really liked taking pictures, but there really wasn't like too much structure around me. And I think leaning into, like, if I could give any advice, it would be to find someone that can help scaffold you in your younger years into like helping you figure out a bit of direction. Like, and I've only learned this now from like years of therapy. But like, shout outs to therapy, man.
Yeah, I got no scaffolding, but I'm free fall.
Yeah, exactly. But having just like that extra layer of support it just makes like decision making and, finding someone to back you, really like makes the biggest difference, I found. And like, I had to back myself for many years, until, I found like the right communities and like, my husband and his family. Like then, I started to experience it. And it was kind of like weird initially because I just like didn't know it. It was like a strange feeling. But like having that layer of support, I think makes it possible to feel like you can do so much more and like achieve more. And like I said, maybe the dreams are not like impossible. So this year, at the beginning of 2025, I said to Nick, my husband, I was like, I have to go to Tokyo this year for World Champs. Like, that's it. I said, I don't know how I'm going to do it. Like, first prize, I work somehow. Yeah. Second prize, we'll go as a family and spectate. Okay? Third prize, we'll watch it on TV.
Oh, I thought you were going to say train.
No.
And just...
No.
and be there.
We'll just watch it on TV. Like, I don't know. But I was like, I have to, like... And I had that, like, vision, like, in my brain for... like a lot of the year, and I was like, I need to get myself there. Somehow it needs to happen. Like it needs to happen. I need to push.
Yeah. Tap in, dude. That's what I keep saying. Lock in, tap in.
Lock in, tap in. Take the risks. Meet the people. Chat to the people. Pitch the ideas. Like throw it out there. People say no a lot. Yes they do. Like deal with that. I'm sensitive. It's hard. Yeah. But like work through the no's to find like the other angles. Like what's next. So. Tokyo for me this year was like the massive goal, and I think had I not had like people behind me going, Tokyo is going to happen for you, or like you need to keep pushing for Tokyo, like it wouldn't have happened, right? So I was like, and my story around Tokyo was that like I didn't get accredited, so I was, initially I felt like a massive failure because I was like, oh, I'm not on the ground with all my chommies that I've made this year.
In the bibs there, in the car guard bibs.
Yeah, I wasn't in a bib. My own like personalized bib. I wasn't in it, and I was gutted. But I was like, you know what? I've been brought here with a mission, and I'm gonna do my absolute best to like make whatever I can make possible. And like I got a billboard out of it, guys. So like.
Sheesh! Asbonge, thank you, bricks.
So, and that's it. This is the biggest moment. This is it about like taking risks, backing yourself, believing in yourself, like having people in your corner that believe in you too, even when you're tired and like, you're questioning a lot of things. And I'm like, fuck, I've left my child again, with her. Like, this is like, there's a lot of things going on here. And like, is it right? Is it wrong? And it's like, yes, it's right, So that's my biggest piece of advice is just to like believe, like get someone in your corner who believes in you. And there is always someone there. And I believe that.
There's also, there's also a crew that's always there.
100%.
Shout out 94! 94 Radio, 94 Radio!
Thank you, 94, for keeping me close all year. I have not seen most of you for a lot of the year, but it's been really...
No, this is the big reveal. Erin's back! Okay.
I'm back. Until Saturday.
at the taping of this, Erin was here.
Yeah, I feel very lucky, and
Yeah.
I feel super grateful because the shit doesn't happen by chance. So that's it. You know, it's been like very, very big push, and yeah, it's only because of the people in my corner that it's happened. So feel very happy. I'm grateful, and 2025.
Ooh, I
what's
want to
happening
know
end of 2025
what's
for me?
what's 2026 Tokyo.
No, so 2026 is, you know, I will hopefully, if everything comes together well, we'll follow the Diamond League calendar again, but a little bit maybe from before Rome this year. So Rome is like the start of like the European leg, which usually kicks off in June, but maybe if everything comes together, I'll be able to start those a little bit sooner. But if not, then hopefully it will start then. And then from there, there's European Championships in 2026, which is in Birmingham, which is probably like my main focus, I would say. And then, you know, because you're allowed to have broader goals, I really hoped that like by the time LA 2028 comes around, that I am on the ground with all those people that I really look up to.
Sheesh.
Yeah. So
Okay.
that's
Okay.
the belief.
Now
And
let's
I'm
go.
Head is down and hopeful, you know.
Tap
hungry,
in.
Like hungry and hopeful is
Yeah.
basically how I've attacked the year. So we'll see how we go from there.
No, I went to from 9-4 radio, and just the 9-4 in general. Want to say thank you so much for joining us today. I think for everyone here, I mean, you know what's going on. You hear everybody online, bro. Come through to the borough. This is your
Borough's
home
alive.
away from home. We activated. We got radio shows, talk shows. We got DJs. You'll see in the next stream now. And downstairs, we got, what do we have? Recovery room. We do mobility sometimes. We got those.
Personalization.
We got those boots. Yes, customization. I'm gonna bring my shit tomorrow.
Get some screen printing going.
Yeah. Yesterday we had tattoos. I was gonna get a teardrop, but I was like, nah,
Not this time.
not this time. I need to get my Tokyo first before I can.
One right here.
Yeah, you're just a young thug here, you know. And then merch, yeah. Then we'll be here all the time. Again, yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
And I want
lads.
to, and it's taped in front of a live audience. So I'd like to say shout out to you
Thank
guys for
you.
coming through. Hey yo. And please don't forget to like and subscribe, and share, comment, and press the bell so you can find out whenever we get a new video. I learned that one on TikTok. Okay.
Good one.
I don't know how to get out of it. You've been watching 9-4 radio.
Thank you, guys.
Cheers, that was fun.
You're great. Thank you.
Shout out.